aside from being Halloween, we're also, you know, the moon is on its way to being full again, so waxing, and we are on our way to back to Eastern Standard Time. So we want to deal with those issues in our practice this week, prepare our bodies for Standard Time especially. So let's go ahead and find ourselves feet hip-width distance. Okay, nice and grounded here. Find your mountain pose. Okay, if you didn't hear me say it earlier, please have a strap nearby. If you don't have a strap, wave to me and I'll just tell you what the alternative is. Okay, and we're finding mountain pose here with the palms face forward. And just let your breath come into your practice. And start to notice, so we really, we need to start dealing with our balance this week too. So if it's comfortable for you, close your eyes. If not, just defocus them. And then just start to send your body side to side, moving in and out of balance. Start to notice how that feels. Just swaying side to side. So the body is starting to be aware, yeah, I can go off balance, I can also come back. Now this is the more unusual thing. Go a little forward and back and see how that feels. If you're not comfortable doing this with your eyes closed, just blink them open. It'll be fine. But we're sending the body out of balance and back in. And now we're going to land squarely on all four corners of the feet, right? The big toe mound, the outer heel, the inner heel, and the pinky toe mound. And we breathe. Good, and let's take that breath a little deeper, so palms out, exhale. And as you inhale, draw your palms up. Inhale, arms up, and then we're going to turn the palms to face the earth, and exhale, draw the hands down right through the center of the body. And we're going to inhale. And exhale, and if there's something that you want to or need to get rid of so that you can just be present with your practice, just press it into the earth here. Breathing up, nice deep inhale, and slowly exhale. And now we're going to come back to our mountain pose. And if you're in the middle of a breath, just finish your breath. You're perfectly fine. And we're breathing. Okay. All right. So let's start moving the body. Hey. Hello. All right. We're going to let the knees and hips be soft. Maybe the feet slightly wider than hip width distance as we start to open up the spine. Draw your arms long forward and open back. Okay. So in the evening, we might have been spending a lot of time hunched forward or reaching forward, so let's really emphasize this opening back. Yeah. Oof. And the spine is moving here too, right? The cats and cows. And the next time your fingertips are forward, bring your palms to touch. Draw your arms up overhead, inhale, and exhale. Feel your spine lengthen as your arms come down by your side. Spine is actually lengthening here. Good. All right, now we're going to start twisting. So with the feet slightly wider than hip width distance and the knees and hips soft, we're going to go ahead and tap, finding that knocking on the door of life here. Okay, letting the hands tap back as we twist side to side. Nice natural movement here. And then start letting the arms release from the body and start coming higher, shoulder height. And find your immunity tapping right under the collarbone with a gentle fist, tap side to side. Good time of year for immunity tapping, isn't it? Side to side. And let those arms go long again, and party like it's Halloween. Arms overhead, side to side. And starting to come back down, back to immunity tapping. Arms free, and knocking on the door of life until we slowly come back to center. Inhale and exhale. So we're going to bring the feet now hip width distance apart. Ground the feet. We want the feet, both feet, to stay grounded. Inhale, float the arms overhead. Now interlace your fingers and point your index fingers up toward the sky. Notice if you're hunching your shoulders up, relax the shoulders. Elbows bent with relaxed shoulders is better than arms straight with the shoulders hunched up toward the ears. And inhale, as you exhale, tick-tock to the right. And come up. Remember, we're warming up this tilt. Let's go to the left. So it may not be the deepest that you're going to go all night, but we're just starting somewhere. And we're going to go one more time each side, right and left. So a little warm up there. Now we go over to the right and turn the gaze up to the left. So add your gaze, stay here a little longer, come up, and tick-tock over to the left, gaze up to the right. And turn your gaze forward and up. And one more time, we're going over to the right, gaze left, and up, and to the left, gaze right, and up. Now we're going to let the knees and hips be soft, release the arms, and just go down and up. Just let everything be nice and flowy, down and up. And the next time you come up, draw your palms together and exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Okay, let's stand here in Tadasana with the hands at the heart for a moment and just connect with our practice, why we're here, what brought you here tonight, and release into mountain pose. Okay, so we want to do some shoulder opening. If you have a strap, grab it. If you don't have a strap, then you're going to do the same things with your arms, okay? So it works with or without a strap. If you have a strap, take your arms forward. Okay, remember the strap could be a bathrobe tie, right? Let the strap rest on your thumbs, make a gentle fist around. Okay, whether you have a strap or not, your arms are coming up. They start to go wider into a V and then come behind you. Yeah, and then back up and around. And if you have the strap, you might be fiddling with the distance in between your arms to make sure that the strap is tight, but not so tight that you have to bend your elbows, okay? And not so loose that it's not doing anything, okay? So you can be doing this just arms. You're going to get shoulder work or with your strap. And the next time your arms are overhead and that nice and wide, take your right, your right arm towards your right ear and bring your left hand down by your side and press back with the left hand. So we're really working the front of the shoulders very big right now, aren't we? Yes, we are. Come on up. And then left arm by the left ear, right arm by your side, and press back. Opening the front of the shoulder here, and come on up, and release, put that strap down. All right, so our goal was to open the shoulders, but we're going to do a little counter posing here. Take your arms out to the side, right hand to the left shoulder, left hand to the right shoulder, and just a gentle roll forward with the chin and the shoulders, not the body, just the chin and the shoulders. Just to release if some tension might have built up. Open the arms long again. Left hand to right shoulder, right hand to left, and that gentle roll forward here. and then release and open arms back. All right. Okay, so we're going to go to the back of the mat. Let's head to the back of the mat. Feet are hip width distance apart. All right. We're going to float the arms up. Inhale. Exhale. Swan dive over your hip creases. Remember, we haven't done anything with the legs really, so we cannot expect them to just, the hamstrings to just stretch so we can put our hands on the mat, but they might, but just put your hands where they belong right now. Bend at the knees, shine your heart forward. Keep drawing your hips toward the mat. Bring your hands down and walk yourself forward into a downward facing dog. So we're going to start in dog here. Inhale and exhale, and bend one knee and then the other. And press one heel down and hold. Press the other heel down and hold. And let's try and get both knees down to the mat at the same time. Control, control, control. Remember, anytime we're in dog or on hands and knees, you could have your hands on a chair or a wall, right? Inhale and exhale. Okay, so from here, we're going to do something familiar, but we're going to spend a little more time in it and see if it challenges you a little more. So think about your spine, maybe you're arching here, and press up through the chest, right? Bringing the chest away from the floor till your spine is in neutral. Not until you're in the cat, but just till your spine is in neutral. So that's the energy you want, your chest pressing up, okay? Now we're going to raise that right leg to hip height, square off the hips, okay? And breathe here, okay? So you might start to feel like a lot of, you might start to feel some extra pressure in your right hand, maybe your left knee, and we're going to float the left arm up by the ear. Okay. Now taking it this slowly might feel like a lot of effort to sustain it, right? And our gaze is just toward the mat here. We're not looking forward. We're not looking back. Now when we bring the hand and knee down, we're going to touch the mat at the same time. And let's do the same thing on the left. Float that left leg back and up to hip height. Remember, the spine isn't concave or convex, it's in neutral. Okay? Feel your energy here and float your right arm up and just hang out here, see what goes on. Your gaze is toward the mat, so the neck is in neutral along with the spine. And let's get that hand and knee to the mat at the same time. Good. Come up to your knees and shake out the wrists. All right. Raise one hand if that was a bit more challenging than the typical, like just go in and come out of that pose that we often do. Anybody find that? Things were really had to work for you there? All right. So we're going to keep that energy in mind, and we're going to be moving the knee and the forehead. So we'll be doing actually crunches from here, right, like this, but we're going to keep them nice and slow again. If you're not comfortable on your hands and knees, you can do this standing, you can do this at a wall. Remember, chair, you can do this with your hands on a chair. Pad your knees extra if that's better for them. We're going to start with that neutral spine, drawing the chest away from the mat, and float that right leg up and back without making the hips open. And then float your left arm by your right ear. Yeah. Inhale and exhale. All right, now let's very slowly bring the knee and elbow together as far as they want to come under the body and slowly release. Slow. And again, knee to elbow, and it's slow. And we release and bring the left hand and left knee down to the mat at the same time. Let's come up and just shake everything out. Okay? All right, so some of you, I can see your thoughts are saying, is this counting as core? Well, yeah, it will count as part of our core work. All right? Okay, so let's come into table. And remember, we're not slouched down or rounded up. We're pulling the chest away from the mat here. And we're taking that left leg up without changing the hip position. Float your right arm up by your ear. And we're hanging out here. Check in with yourself. Are you starting to feel impatient? Are you starting to feel tired? Is your core talking to you? Just check in with yourself. What's going on here? And then super slow, elbow to knee. And super slow release. Yes, good. And super slow, elbow to knee. And super slow release. And hand and knee greet the mat at the same time. All right, so let's go ahead and just release things. Maybe move back and forth if that feels good to you, or get your hands out of the way and go up and down. There was a lot of things that were stable and working very hard, so just find what it was for you and move around to release it. Oh, this feels pretty good. I put my hips back toward my heels and made a circle. Now I'll go the other way. I wasn't expecting that, but that felt really good. So see what feels good to you. Shake it out. Okay, and we're going to find our way back to downward facing dog now. Inhaling and exhaling. So find your way into a nice balanced four-part dog, right? 2 hands, 2 feet. And let's see if we can replicate. Remember, we just did it with knees down, so that's always an option. We're only going to raise the leg this time, not the leg and arm. Right leg is up to hip height. And super slow, we draw the knee and the forehead toward each other. And super slow, we extend that right leg back out. And put the head back in line with the spine. And again, super slow, right knee, forehead. And super slow, extend out. Whew. And release. Okay, we're going to do that on the left 2 times. If your shoulders are getting tired, bring your knees down. Okay, take a break and join back in down dog. When you are ready, the left leg is up and it's knee to forehead. Let's see it. Nice and slow. Nice. And release back and up. Whew. And the very last time, knee and forehead. And slow back up and out. Good. All right, let's go ahead and bring the left knee down, both knees down, sit off to the side, and come into seated mountain pose. And yes, go ahead and shake those wrists out, open and close the fingers, wiggle anything that wants to wiggle, inhaling and exhaling. Tell your wrists we won't be bothering them for a while, okay? All right, so we're going to move into dead bug. I was trying to think of ghostly postures, you know, skeletons, and I thought, okay, dead bug it shall be, okay? So let's take our dead bug positioning here. Okay, we're going to work it 2 different ways tonight. We'll start with the spine on the mat. Okay. And arms up. You can have 2 feet down, right? And we're going to go right leg, left arm, extend and return. Left leg, right arm, extend and return. Okay, bring your right knee up, leave your left foot down. Right leg, left arm, extend and return. Right foot down, left knee up. Left leg, extend, right arm back and return and release. 2 knees up, okay? If you're like 2 knees up, it's not going to work for me. Just stay with one of the other versions. We're going right leg, left arm, and in, left leg, right arm, and in. Okay, one more variation for those who want it is leg straight. Right leg, left arm, and up, left leg, right arm, and up. And you know what happens in each of these progressions. The core is working harder and it might bother your spine. So pick which one you're going to do, or you could move through a few different variations, and let's take it slow one more time, okay? I mean, we're taking it slow. I didn't mean one more time because we'll be doing this several times. Okay, so whichever your starting position is, or you might be, switching things up, nice and slow. Right leg, left arm, hold. Slowly bring it up. Left leg, right arm, hold. Slowly bring it up. What did they say on the Twilight Zone? There's nothing wrong with your television. We are going this slow. Right leg, left arm. And slowly up. And left leg, right arm. And slowly up. And don't be, reluctant to change your position of your legs anytime you feel like it's appropriate for you. Right leg, left arm, and up. Left leg, right arm, and up. Let's do one more on each side like this, whichever your chosen position is. Right leg, left arm, and up. Left leg, right arm, and up. Woo, shake it out. Inhale and exhale. All right, let those knees rock a little side to side. Just release the spine a bit. Dead bug sometimes has an effect on the spine of, tightening it up. So let's take the arms and legs long. Inhale, exhale, draw both knees in and take them nice and wide. Take your legs nice and wide and just rock around. You might be holding shins, you might be holding hamstrings. Just do something that feels nice and comfortable to you. Inhale and exhale. All right, so now we're going to go back to feet down, knees up, legs straight, whichever you want. Arms up, palms touch. Roll the shoulders and head up, both hands to the right. Center and down. Roll up, both hands to the left. Center and down. Okay, option, add the leg. Roll up, hands right, left leg extends. Center and down. Roll up, hands left, right leg extends. Center and down. Raise one, keep going. Raise one foot and wave it at me if you need a version that I haven't talked about. If you need something different or desire something different than we're doing. Okay, all right. So the alternative, a good alternative is just take your arms and go side to side. That's one thing you could do with your palms together. You could take your arms to one side and your knees to the other. Leave your feet on the mat. And just release and release. Okay? You can also put your hands down and take your knees side to side. You're working the same basic muscles. All right, I hope everybody's still going slowly. Next time you do left, You will be even. Come back to center and just make yourself comfortable and breathe. Oh, that was a lot of core. All right, some of you don't want to stop. I see that, okay? But you're welcome to anytime you want. Just make yourself comfortable and breathe, okay? Inhale and exhale. So how could we treat ourselves to a beautiful hip opener now? Well, let's go ahead and do our nice little water wheel, okay? All right, so if you want to make it Halloweeny, imagine there's little ghosts on each rung of the water wheel and they're dropping into the water as the wheel turns. I don't know. Bring your feet to the mat with the knees bent and the right knee comes in, leg up, flex down, knee in, point up, flex down. There you go. So here's a familiar thing, right? You're like, okay, water wheel, I know this. So what can you do while you're doing water wheel? You can stay present. You can notice something that maybe you've never noticed before about water wheel. And then the next time your right knee is in, hold it in, flex your right foot, and reverse your water wheel. It's flex out, point up, knee in, and again, it's very repetitive. It's kind of familiar, or maybe very familiar. So what can you notice about your water wheel? Don't check out, check in. And draw your right knee in, hold it there, and hold on to your right shin or hamstring. Let that right leg go out to the right and back to center. Okay, so we took the hip in a nice circle. We're taking it now out to the right and back to center, so to one side and back. And come back to center here. Take your left hand outside of your right leg. Let that left leg straighten any amount. Right arm comes out to the side, and let the right knee come just across past the belly button. And then let the right knee with your right shoulder staying attached to the mat, but the right hip comes up. Let the right knee come more over to the left. What can you notice here? And then as you release, take your right ankle across your left thigh, flex your right foot, bring that leg in, and you might hold on to the shin of your right leg with both hands. You might hold on to the outsides of your legs and just let those hips move around. Maybe the hips come in towards you and away. Maybe they circle a little bit. Now let's come back to center with those legs still in a figure four. Take your left leg up, point and flex the foot, work that ankle, and circle one direction and the other. And release, unwind, bring the feet back down to the mat, open and close the knees, little gentle butterfly wings. And we're ready for water wheel on the left. Left knee in, point up, flex down. And keep moving, checking in. Oh, this is the water wheel. What is happening in my body right now? Maybe you'll notice something you never noticed before. And the next time your left knee is in, just hold it in. Flex your left foot and reverse your water wheel. Flex out, point up, knee in. And the next time your left knee is in, hold it in. Hold on to your left shin or hamstring with your left hand and let that left knee come out to the left and back to center. So the leg is opening, the hip is opening side. We went in a circle, we're going side to side. Well, we're going to the left and center, not really side to side yet. Okay, come back to center. Let that right leg straighten whatever amount it wants. If the amount is 0, then that's fine too. Take your right hand outside your left leg, left arm out to the side, and let that left knee come just past the belly button. And then let the left knee come as far over to the right as it wants and can, with the left shoulder still on the mat. Okay, so we're not doing this, right? I could do this, but what is this doing for my hip besides nothing? Nothing. And then we come back through center, letting the left ankle slide across the right thigh. Draw the left shin in. Make sure your left foot is flexed and go ahead and move around. So what if you're holding your left shin? That's okay. If you're holding the sides of your legs, that's fine too. Wherever you are, you are. And then let's go ahead and extend that right leg up, point and flex. And circle one direction. And the other. Release, unwind, bring 2 feet to the mat and let those knees open and close. Little butterfly wings. Okay, we're going to make our way to hands and knees now, and then just wiggle around a little bit, release anything that feels like it wants to release. We're going to do a couple of slow push-ups from either knee down or knee up plank. So you might want to start with your knees down till we see how we're approaching this. Come into the knee down plank. Remember, you could be at a wall, right? And we're going to make sure that the crease of the elbows is forward. Elbows back, we slowly descend. Let's hold here. Hold, 3, 2, 1, and press ourselves slowly back up and slowly bring the hips toward the heels. And we're going to do that one more time. If you want to do it knees down, that's great. If you feel like knees up might work for you, that's fine too. It doesn't matter unless your spine starts to wobble, then it matters a great deal. Bring your knees down. Okay, here we go. Take it down. We're going to hold, hold, hold. 3, 2, 1. Press up. If your knees are up, bring them down. Set your hips back and find your way into a restful child's pose. So my shoulders just said to me, bring your hands back by your feet this time. So that's what I'm doing. So key into what your body's telling you to do. Do your shoulders want your arms forward? Do they want them back? Does your body want a block under your head so you don't have to be so scrunched up? A pillow with your hands, wherever you are, knees wide, right? Come into a comfortable child's pose. And then find your way to downward facing dog. Sensing how the dog feels now. And then just take whatever journey is right for you right at this moment, bringing your feet to your hands. And then with your hands to your thighs, hips back, knees bend, shine your heart forward. Let your hands go lightly onto your thighs and keep your hands attached to your legs as you straighten into forward fold. So the hands slide down the legs. Maybe they stop up here, that's fine. Maybe they touch your shins, that's fine. Maybe they go to your feet, that's fine. Maybe your hands need to come to the mat because that's just you tonight, that's fine. And then bring your hands to your hips from wherever you are, come halfway up. Take your arms out to a T. Bring your hands by your ears, okay, so the arms are shoulder width apart, long out from the shoulders by the ears. Notice your feet. Notice the lower half of your body, super strong, upper half of the body, super light, and see how long you can spend pressing yourself up. Oh yeah, good. Just take your time getting up, and once you are up, find your way into mountain pose. Inhale and exhale. All right. So let's go ahead and we're going to do, well, let's do this first because I want to bring this into our sun salutations. So find yourself in mountain pose here. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, just clasp the hands behind you. And then roll your shoulder blades toward each other, look up, so you're pressing your fingers toward the floor here. And now, fold forward. Okay, and you're in whatever form of forward fold, you might be high, you might be low. If this interlacing of the fingers is too much, just put your hands on the back of your hips. And sometimes the hands will come off the spine, and that's fine too if that's you. Drop your fingers to the mat and press yourself up. Inhale, palms touch. And hands come heart center. Okay, so now we're going to come to the top of the mat, and we're going to just incorporate that into the top of our sun salutation. So here we go, hands by the side. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, clasp the hands behind, or they can come to the hips, right? Inhale, shine up. Exhale, fold over those hip creases. Hands can stay on the spine. You stop anywhere that's right for you. Hands might lift. Release your hands to the mat. Float the arms out and up. Come back into forward fold here, hands down. Half lift. Forward fold and step back with your right leg coming into a lunge and wiggle around in your lunge. Inhale and exhale, and find a knee up or knee down plank. Notice what your spine is doing, and let's get that slow, slow chaturanga. So before we did a push-up, this time we're going to let the body come all the way down as slowly as possible. Ooh, those arms are going to be strong after tonight. Hands under the shoulders, and let's just release into a little baby cobra. Maybe even lift your hands. Give those wrists a little jiggle. Release. And find your way to down dog. So how can you get to down dog? You can go table to dog, or you can do the other half of that push-up. and come into down dog. How do you want to get there? Inhale and exhale here. Take a couple of breaths. Take your right leg up to hip height and just start to journey your feet towards your hands. When you get there, take a half lift, forward fold, float the arms out and up, palms touch. Good, and hands come heart center. And we'll do that one more time, starting on the left. Shake out those wrists. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, clasp the hands behind you. Now, maybe you clasp the way you always clasp, so change your fingers by one, and then shine your heart up. Exhale, fold. Let the arms come up if they want to, or stay down if that's better. Release the hands down to the mat. Float the arms out and up. Inhale. Exhale, swan dive. Half lift. Hips down. Step back with the left. Come into your lunge. Keep going. Yes, lunge, good. Wiggle around in your lunge if that's working for you. Come into a knee up or knee down plank. And a nice slow chaturanga. Okay, knees down is better sometimes, all the time if your spine is wobbly. Yes. All right. And we're just going to get the wrists completely out of the picture here. Take your hands back by your thighs here with your pinkies up and just lift your heart and lift your arms so your pinkies are heading toward the sky. That's all we're doing here. Release the hands, okay? And let's bring the hands back under the shoulders here. Find down dog. Take the left leg up. And step forward and take the rest of your journey to the top of your mat. Half lift, forward fold, and float the arms out and up, palms touch. And hands come heart center. All right, good. How's everybody doing? Everybody okay? We're going to make our way back down to the earth now, okay? And do some folding. So let's just move around first like we like to do, right? Just jiggle around, see everything, make sure everything's happy. Okay, see if there's anything in your space that you might want. Has your space cooled off a bit? Do you want a sweater? Do you have an eye pillow? Rub some lavender between your hands. Oh yeah, I have my little lavender here. That's nice. Okay, and when you're done, come to the top of your mat, find mountain pose. And just observe. Notice what's coming up for you. Inhale, float your arms up. Exhale, swan dive. Swan dive can always be like just this, right? Or lower, or lower, or lower. Anywhere your swan dive takes you is where you're going to go. Hands to the thighs, half lift. Sink the hips down, and we're going to step back. Let's just step back to table because we've really spent a lot of time in down dog already. So we're just going to come back to table here and move the hips around. Maybe back and forth, maybe side to side. And then let's sit off to the side and come into seated mountain pose. Spine is nice and long. Okay? We're going to take the hands to the side with the palms face up. And we're going to, as we draw the arms overhead, lengthen the spine, right? The spine is lengthening. And as we turn the palms out and bring the hands down, the spine continues to lengthen. So think about lengthening your spine up and down, both directions. Good, and release. All right, so let's shake it out and move into some forward folding. So these are going to be folding from the hips with a long spine, okay? It's not our just gentle kind of release forward fold. We're keeping the spine long, okay? So draw your arms up, reach long, long, long over your legs, and just let your hands drop. Take your gaze toward your toes. And just see what's happening for you in this. Inhale the arms up. Okay. Now we're going to go forward from the hips again, arms long, long, long. Take your left hand outside of your right leg and draw your right arm up and back. Try and keep one long line. Yes. And come back to center and switch sides. Right hand outside the left leg, left arm up and back. And take it long, arms overhead, hands down. Phew. All right, now we're going to take a V-sit. So, depending on where you are, your V might be a narrower V, it might be wider. You put yourself where you feel comfortable. The feet are flexed, arms are up, inhale, long, 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 and the hands come down to the mat. We gaze past the fingertips here, keeping the spine long. Good, and let's bring the arms up, okay, hands down. All right, so now we're going to come up, turn toward the right leg, turn the palms forward, and melt with a long spine over the right leg. What's happening on the right side? What's happening on the left side for you? Long arms up, come back through center, turn to the left, long spine, hands down, one on either side of that left foot, left leg, gazes toward the toes, spine is still long. Arms long and overhead, and bring your hands down. Okay, we're going to take the soles of the feet together. Now, if that is not a good posture for you, keep them 6 inches apart. They're far away from your pelvis right now. And see where your knees are, and start to draw your heels a little closer to your pelvis. But if your knees start to do this, keep your heels far away. Does that make sense? We're moving into Baddha Konasana, but we're taking care to make sure that our legs are in the right position for it. So this is not Baddha Konasana, right? This is. So we want to be here regardless of where our heels are in relation to our pelvis. Okay, it's an inner thigh stretch here. You might be feeling it. Everybody okay? Everybody okay in Baddha Konasana? All right, let's take a couple of breaths here. And if you're, you can hold on to your ankles. You might be holding on to your shins or your thighs, but don't hold on to your toes, okay? All right, now draw the arms up, turn your palms forward, and just fold over those legs. Ooh, there go those inner thighs, and maybe when you did that, the heels need to come farther away from the pelvis for your inner thigh. For the sake of your inner thighs, feel free to do that. Gaze past your fingertips. Take the arms long and overhead. Okay? All right. So we're not going to twist this. We're going to just take the legs straight, give them a crazy shake, shake things out, and find our way onto our spines here. So take it down, feet hip width distance apart. Inhale and exhale. Alrighty. So let's extend both arms, both legs, and draw the right knee in. So we're in half wind removing pose, Ardha Appanasana. Extend both arms, both legs. Arms are overhead, legs are long. And left leg in, Ardha Appanasana on the left. You might be holding your shin, you might be holding your hamstring. Both legs and both arms long. Inhale, both legs in. Oh, does that feel restful for the spine, everybody? Inhale and exhale. So let's keep the spine in this nice position as we move into happy baby. Flexing the feet, holding on inside or outside of the feet. Or you might just hold on to your hamstrings, that's fine too. Wherever you are, think about what the first word of this pose is, happy, that's how we want to be. Inhale and exhale, and then go ahead and massage the spine. Release your hands down, come back to center, bring the feet down, and just relax your spine right here. Okay? As we do that, we will open the fingers wide and draw gentle fists, wiggling the fingers. And then rotate those hard-working wrists one direction and the other. Just let your spine be in neutral right now. As we continue, we'll take the head side to side. All right, and draw your head back to center. Take a couple of breaths here. And just observe how things are feeling. Start to scan your body. And now take some time to move around. Maybe there was something that you hoped or thought we might do that we didn't do, a particular movement, and you want to do that now. Or maybe in order to release, the body needs to move in a certain way. Just go ahead. Doesn't have to be an official pose. It can be if you want. A lot of times we do things that support our poses. They may not be official poses, but they support our work. It's all yoga. As long as we're breathing, it's yoga, right? Yes. Good. Whatever your body is requesting, go ahead and give it. All right. Now we're going to do one final thing here with both feet on the mat. Just take one leg straight up, and let's make sure those ankles are happy. So we'll point and flex and circle one direction and the other. And then switch sides, other leg up as we point and flex. And circle one direction and the other. So if you were in the middle of something when we started doing this, just finish what you were doing, and then when you get back down, go ahead and do that if your ankles are feeling it, okay? And now let's start to find our way into a nice aligned position. Once again, scanning the body from head to toe, seeing how it's requesting to be, so that we can be in a nice, settled, quiet, final relaxation. Is your body telling you to go sit in a chair or lay down on the bed or put your knees up? What is your body telling you to do so it can be settled and quiet? And then once you're there, inhale through the nose and slowly exhale through the mouth. Allow your body to melt onto the earth as you are in final relaxation. Slowly begin to bring your awareness back to your space. Allow your breath to deepen. Gently invite movement back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And stretching everything nice and long as you inhale. Exhale, draw your knees in, give yourself a hug. Find your way over to a side. And as you're ready, back up to a nice easy seat. As you turn your gaze to your own good heart and your bright spirit, thank and honor yourself for your practice, and we thank and honor each other for sharing this time. Namaste.